Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. It's been a little while since I made a video for this channel. I've been really busy with my comic channel and busy with just summertime and work outside and whatever, and just a job in general. So I hope you're doing well. I have a review here for a movie that I've been wanting to see for quite a while. Apparently it is a 2024 movie. And I've had my sights on this for a while. I kept trying to get around to it like last Christmas and whatever when I had some vacation time off from work. And just never got around to it because I was working through the backlog so much, like I still am. And this little movie here is called Tarot, and it's about an hour and a half long. I don't know basically anybody involved with it except for one member of the cast. I'll get to that in a minute. But the idea was that it was a creature feature, slasher style movie involving young people and tarot cards and the monsters from those tarot cards. And that's essentially all it is. A group of friends decide to get like an Airbnb, cabin, whatever, to stay at one night, and they happen to run out of beer as they joke and banter, which was actually kind of nice. They actually did that pretty well in this movie. Despite all the issues in the film, I liked the portions like that of the movie. And so basically, they ran out of beer. They start exploring through the parts of the house that you're not supposed to go into by the owners of the house to look for more beer. And they happen to find some tarot cards inside of a little box. And they take it out, and one of them is kind of a New Ager friend, you know, the one that like believes the stars will tell her her destiny and her day and tell her about her current breakup and whatever. So she starts reading the cards and telling everybody's future, right? And each of them pretty much have a monster from these cards that are kind of the one to define them from that deck. And things go weird after this. They begin to be haunted by these monsters that I talked about a moment ago. And each of them begin to get killed off in a very kind of Final Destination type of way. Like, I don't think it was in a certain order, but it might have been also. But they get little hints by the horoscope that their New Ager friend gave them about what's probably going to happen to them. And so they have to think back about, you know, what exactly did she say that my horoscope or whatever would say by these tarot cards. And it sounded like a really cool concept to me, and I actually heard from a couple of people that this wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. I don't know how much I agree or disagree with that opinion, because it's got its problems, to be honest with you. I guess I can go into the cast a little bit. I don't know anybody from this film, and frankly, the main two leads, the boy and girl who used to date and just broke up like that day or the day before, and all the other friends didn't know it yet, they're not very good. But they're like our main characters in the film, especially the girl in that relationship, and they're not very good. The only friend in the group I remember ever knowing anything about was Ned from Spider-Man, the new MCU, or the newer MCU movies or whatever. He's not a good actor. Not really a fan of Ned as a character, to be honest with you, in that particular franchise. But he's here, and he has some funny jokes and stuff. He's kind of the goofy pothead friend, but not really like a pothead per se. The biggest issue that I have with this movie is the editing. It feels like a movie that was supposed to be an hour and 45 minutes, and it got chopped up so badly. Like, it is rushed to death, dude. Every scene doesn't have a second to just linger or any kind of, you know, kind of down low time. I think they made this a PG-13 film. They did, according to IMDb. I would be willing to bet that it was a little closer to rated R back in the day, and it got released under a PG-13 film, and it really got cut up, and it got chopped up enough where I wonder if like actual blood and kills and whatnot got removed, because there's like a couple of scenes with some gore, but not really anything on the screen a whole lot. A lot of it is off the screen. But I was here for the monsters, right? Like, I like that kind of thing. It's one of the only things I like about the Conjuring movies, for example. I was down for that, and that slasher element in there too, I was really excited for that. So you have a little bit of a lack of blood. The choppiness cuts out most of the time what the monsters actually look like. I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of these monsters are pretty rad, and you barely get to see them. Because the scenes where they would show up and try to kill somebody, they're like less than 2 minutes. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking with you. The monster designs are so sweet, dude. This movie deserves so much better, in that respect. I wish we could get like portraits and stuff, or at least like posters with each of the monsters on here. I think people would eat that up, dude. I really do. At least fans of this movie would. I don't know if I would call myself a fan of the movie because it's so choppy and because there's clearly so much missing from the film that actually adds context to scenes or develops certain scenes. Do you think this movie's original cut was just boring or something? Like, why do you think they cut this up so much to where it's an hour and a half with credits? So if you remove the credits, it's closer to like an hour 22, hour 25, somewhere in there. The movie flies by, but like, it kind of has that throwback feel for like the 80s, right? Like if you had a movie that was super fast paced, a lot of the time it was very effective in the 80s. Maybe it was an editing choice, you know? That's kind of what this film feels like to its detriment, sadly enough. I feel like if any horror film in recent years actually truthfully deserved a longer cut, like a director's cut, it's this movie, and I want to see more from it. The coolest monsters in here, you're either seeing from super far away, or again, the scene is over in like 2 minutes and they're barely on the screen because they're hiding in the shadows or whatever. There's two that I really love. One that I think is the one that goes after Ned, I want to say, from Spider-Man. It's like a really lanky, thin dude with like a jester mask and stuff. I think the card is actually called a jester. I don't know anything about tarot. I'm Christian. But there's another monster in here too that attacks a guy on a train, and it has like a lantern and stuff, and it's kind of like, it kind of looks like the Creep from the old Creep Show posters from the movies. But it's really sick looking. I actually really like a lot of these monster designs, and this movie is not deserving of them because of the choppiness of it, man. It kind of hurts your brain with how it's changing camera angles from like every 2 seconds, you know? Outside of that, there's a lot of solid CGI. Not all of it's great, but there is a lot of solid CGI in here that actually add to this movie a little bit. I like it. I think it's fun for what it is. It would be great if you wanted to show this to your teens. Like if you have a teenager or a niece or a nephew or something that's not really into deep horror, but like you're getting them into the more mainstream stuff. Maybe you want to start something a little bit newer than like a Halloween or a Jason film or something. This is a great alternative for them. If you have a kid who was growing up on Goosebumps, again, niece, nephew, child, whatever, and they're starting to get into their teen years and you're having like kind of the more typical horror stuff thrown in there, show them this. I think they would like it a lot more than most people do, especially hardcore horror fans like myself. It has the right audience out there for it. I think the PG-13 thing is not a complete bad idea, to be honest with you. It sounds like the studio had an idea for it. Maybe it was too late with how, you know, cut down it is. I don't know. Maybe that was just a choice for timing. I don't know. But I didn't hate this, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'd recommend it. I'm not going to list this as like a hidden horror review or anything. But it's got its moments to it that I actually really dig, and I think a lot of people would dig if you guys give it a chance. I would love to see what Horror FFA would do with this, my friend on YouTube. I would love to see his opinion on this if he hasn't already talked about it, because it's got its interesting points to it, man. I'm not going to lie. So, if Attero 2 was to be made, do you think it would be better if it really centered on these monsters a little bit more and did more with them? I think you could do well. I think you could clearly just do this concept over and over again like we typically do with slasher movies and monster movies. I dig it a lot. I feel like there's a lot more you could do with Attero 2. Maybe even creatively, let's say. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it. Put your thoughts and comments down below. If I had to rate Attero on a 5-star basis, I think I would give it like probably, me personally, I'm saying this, I would give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I don't regret watching it. I don't really have any massive issues with it aside from the pacing being such a mess. The idea is good. The concept is good. The performances aren't offensively awful. They're not very good. Some of these people feel like Power Rangers actors. And I can say that because I'm watching Power Rangers right now. But I would love to hear what you all have to say about this flick. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think it was worth the time you spent on it? Are you gonna watch it based on my review? Let me know all that down below too. Thank you all for watching, guys. 3 out of 5 stars for me. It's just my opinion. I think it's good enough that I'd give that, but it's a very weak 3, you know, like, it's kind of borderline 2, but I like it enough to give it a 3. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.